Oklahoma Newsroom. This is an OU update with Jason Kersey. I'm Jenny Carlson. Jason, it's hard to believe with the snow flying and the first week of March, it's time for spring football. The Sooners will get going later this week with their first spring drills, and obviously all eyes will be on the quarterback position. But what do you expect to see, to learn? What do we expect of this whole quarterback battle?
We really don't know.
Yeah.
Trevor Knight would seem to be the guy with the biggest leg up just because he started so many more games than these other quarterbacks. But there's a lot of reason to believe that Baker Mayfield could come in this system and really perform well with Lincoln Riley's new system. Also, Cody Thomas's particular skill set makes him a very good fit for this system. I know. What we saw of him last year wasn't great throwing the ball, but with Lincoln Riley and his new system, we know Cody Thomas has a good arm. We know he's a better passer than what we saw last year. And then Justice Hansen is sitting there too, obviously, is probably the least likely to win the job, but we know he's talented enough to probably to pull out an upset if things go right for him.
Do you feel like that there'll be a quarterback named at the end of spring, or is this thing going to continue to draw out throughout the summer into two-a-days?
It's not Bob Stoops' style to name a quarterback at the end of spring. If this thing, unless I guess it's truly an obvious thing where one person is obviously that much better, I think that they'll probably let it go until a week and a half, 2 weeks before the first game.
All right. Now, obviously, quarterback, we'll be talking about it, writing about it. That'll be a focus of a lot of what we do. But other positions are of interest, too. And we've got some new coaching, spots that different guys coaching different things. What are some other positions you're going to be interested in to see how they develop during the spring?
Well, wide receiver is obviously a big one. Outside of Sterling Shepard, I think that all those positions are open. Deron Neal started a lot of games last year, every game last year, but he wasn't great last year, and they're going to have to get more production out of him or out of someone in that position. D.D. Westbrook, the junior college guy who came in, is going to have a shot. And then there's a lot of other players on the roster that really are talented. With new coaching, may be able to contribute. And it'll also be interesting to see with the splitting the receiver coaches between inside and outside, how that affects things. I also think on the defensive side of the ball, the safety positions, both of them, I think are going to be wide open. Ahmad Thomas started all the games last year, but again, like Deron Neal, he wasn't great, and they're going to have to get more out of that. And then a big one is literally and figuratively the defensive tackle spot. Who's going to replace Jordan Phillips? Played such a critical role on this defense. I think Matthew Romar is probably the leading candidate, but Jordan Wade started a bunch of games 2 years ago. So there's all kinds of possibilities there as well.
And obviously Jerry Montgomery no longer coaching that defensive line, so it'll be interesting to see how that all evolves. All right, thanks, Jason. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.